We'll just lay the ground rules. In 2024, Vivek Ramaswamy is not getting the GOP nomination. But that doesn't mean he's not bringing up interesting points. And hell, if Ron DeSantis doesn't declare for a presidential run, which everybody kind of knows he's right on the precipice of doing, is supposed to be out there in June, and if Trump ends up getting disqualified, you take a look at the rest of the polls, and Vivek, he's probably the best of that situation, and even still under different circumstances, hey man, he would definitely have my support. When it comes to that second tier of candidates, he's definitely the guy that I'd go for, and it would definitely be an interesting compare and contrast, and it will be for that first round of GOP presidential primary debates that are supposed to be on both Fox and Rumble in August. It'll be interesting to see. Hopefully he makes the stage and he has a good showing, because he's definitely the guy who stands to gain the most by being on a debate stage. Ron stands to lose quite a bit because he just doesn't have the charisma. He doesn't have the ability to articulate or hold the captive audience in the same way that Vivek does. You've seen him a couple of different times destroying, actually kind of handing Don Lemon his pink slip at CNN, going on Meet the Press and handing Chuck Todd his lunch and his hairpiece, making the rounds on different podcasts that's out there. I like Vivek. I think he's a very smart guy, and now he's bringing up a very interesting point here with GOP candidate Vivek Ramaswamy wants to raise voting age to 25. I like it. I like it a lot, where you have Democrats on the other side saying, no, you should lower the voting age to 16, but everything else that requires a full adult brain, I guess it stayed the same age, but because you have the captive audience of your default Democrats that are out there, you just want to cultivate an audience. Now, I like this policy. I really do, and I'll be interested to see how he comes to that conclusion. But universal suffrage, I think, is a terrible decision. Okay, and I joke every once in a while whenever we talk about some stupid broad that's out there, and every once in a while I'll let slip or repeal the 19th, but that's only in jest. There are some smart women that are out there, I guess, and I wouldn't just say rescind their vote, even though that they tend to vote overwhelmingly for Democrats. It's really a surface level fix to a much greater problem. I say in the times when the founding fathers wrote the United States Constitution, they required to some certain level a bit of service, some skin in the game in order to have your voice heard, because that's where I think the next step in election integrity ought to be going. Now, of course, that's just my personal preference. Will it eventually go that way? I think we'll probably see, maybe if there's going to be any sort of shoring up, that's a level 2, level 3 pipe dream. That's just my idealistic view of the world. You'd have to be a net taxpayer or a job creator. You've served in any of the branches of the armed forces. Okay, you actually have skin in the game. You own land. There's a bunch of different things that I've opined on in multiple different videos in the past. But also, raising the age when you're 25, when you start to realize that, there's a lot of things going on in this world that requires deep, complex thought process, instead of just, I'm going to vote for that guy because the other guy makes me feel bad, or I'm going to vote for that guy because he has nice hair, or I like that chick, boy, she's got a nice rack. Like, these are the base level takes of your modern voter that's out there. They don't know the platforms. They don't understand the talking points. So if you at least have a couple of barriers in place, 25 years old, it's really not that bad, man. You can't rent a car, and you want to place the voting age that high? I don't think that's wrong. I don't think that's terribly wrong, but that's just my opinion. What's Vivek backing this stuff up at? Republican presidential candidate Vivek Ramaswamy said he wants to raise the voting age from 18 to 25 for anyone who is not in public service or can't pass a basic civics test. Ooh, I like that as well. I like that. And in order to get your voter ID, I've already just glossed past that. Like, that's base level 1. Every other country around the world has some level of voter ID, but it's only racist in the United States. Big think on that one. But yeah, a basic civics test. And another thing, I think, a little behind the scenes when it comes to this stuff. I'm batch recording a few different videos tonight, but I'm going to make reference to Fresh and Fit for the 3rd video in a row. A hilarious test that they do every once in a while. It was a pretty good run there for a minute a few months ago, where they would go around the table and ask the girls that were there, name 3 countries. You just can't say the United States, Canada, or Mexico, any of the bordering countries of the United States. Go ahead, name 3. Just any 3 that are out there. You'll get ridiculous answers like California, Texas, Puerto Rico, Paris, Bali, Dubai, Asia, Africa, and those girls' votes count just as much as yours. You watching this video right now, somebody who is up to date on most political conversations and goings on, her theoretical vote is worth just as much as yours. Passing a basic civics test, yeah, I'm not against that at all whatsoever. And yeah, public service, exactly, man. Service guarantees citizenship. Ramaswamy, 37-year-old tech entrepreneur, and yeah, to run for president, you have to be 35 years of age. He's 37. And you have to be a naturally born United States citizen living within the country consecutively for 14 years. But you have to be born within the confines of the country. So he meets all of that, even though his last name, there's a lot of repeating consonants with a whole bunch of arches and letters. And it's like, yeah, it's Ramaswamy. Sounds cool. Laid out an ambitious new proposal that would require a change to the 26th Amendment, which gives citizens who are 18 and older the right to vote. Yeah, just get rid of universal suffrage. That'd be great. Also amend the 19th, please. How we want to do it is to say that if you want to vote as an 18-year-old between the ages of 18 to 25, you need to either do civic duty through service to the country, he said. That's 6 months of service in either military service or as a first responder, police, fire, or otherwise. Interesting. Okay. Under the proposal, American citizens under 25 who don't serve in the military would need to take a test to satisfy the requirements needed to take part in the democratic process. I would just extrapolate that out further. If you want to vote, no, you have to pass this test. Okay, you have to keep up to date when it comes to your voter ID. I'd be totally for that, by the way. Ramaswamy explained, or else you have to pass the same civics test an immigrant has to pass in order to become a naturalized citizen who can vote in this country at age 25. That falls away. Yeah, I would just still keep that through, but I understand he has to put he's putting out controversial stances on a bunch of different things, but he also has to be rather measured in his response. So yeah, I can understand. GOP candidate is polling at 5% in the race of potential challengers for the nomination, ahead of Nikki Haley, Liz Cheney. He remains slightly behind former President Mike Pence, who, if you take a look at other polls that are out there, Vivek's actually ahead of the pack. Like, he's third behind Trump, DeSantis, and then it's Ramaswamy. But it's such a drop off between the top two that it's like, okay, everybody's just kind of jockeying for a cabinet position in a theoretical Republican presidency. So let's just call this exactly what it is. He's opining to be the Secretary of, Transportation, Secretary of State, something like that, which I don't blame him, man. He's got the money to run and he wants to do that stuff. Good for him. He's putting his name out there and he's getting ready for 28. It makes sense. His proposal would require 2/3 votes, yes, for Congress to amend the Constitution. Then it has to get passed by half of the United States as part of a plan to restore the importance of civic duty of Americans. Yes, in order to amend the Constitution, yes, 2/3 votes at Congress and then ratified by the states. As a Canadian, I even know that, for Christ's sakes. Could I pass that civics test? Can I vote in the United States? Can I just move to the United States, please? The change could leave thousands stuck between joining public service or not voting at all. Most of them don't. Let's keep it a buck. Most of them, if I'm going to be completely honest, do I want to take the opinions, the advice of an 18 to 25-year-old? No. What fucking life skills are they going to impart? Obviously, there's going to be exceptions to the rule, but here's a good example. Fucking Sneako's 24 years old. What would you listen to that fucker for? I rest my case, given that many Americans tend to fail their own citizenship test. Another good set of videos, and we've watched some on stream before. Fleckus Talks, he had one of his guys go down to Times Square to just ask basic questions. Like, when was the War of 1812 fought? Who fought in the American Civil War? And people just, 18-plus-year-olds cannot answer those questions. If you were born 10 years ago, how old would you be today? Cannot answer it at all whatsoever. And they will fight to the death their bumbleclot decision. 2018 survey from the Woodrow Wilson, National Fellowship Foundation. Woodrow Wilson, big fan of Birth of a Nation, found that about 2/3 of respondents failed the exam. I gotta take that quiz just to check, because I think I could pass it. Some of the questions include writing the name of a Native American tribe that lived in the U.S. or explaining the role of the 3 branches of government. Well, there's the judiciary, the congressional, and the executive. The judicial interprets the law, Congress passes the law, and the executive branch ratifies the law. Native American tribes, Sioux, Cree, Blackfoot, like that's just ones that come off the top of my head. Ramaswamy said that the change would let younger Americans know the true privilege of voting after completing a tour of service or becoming a more informed voter. Yeah, exactly. That's what we want. We kind of want a higher quality of voter for as many people as say, these are the best candidates that we could put forward. Yeah, because you take a look at the people that are voting en masse. You've got to influence them. So yeah, of course, they're just going to go with people who have name recognition. Just thank God Trump is as politically savvy and well-tuned as he is. Anyways, I think that will actually be positive for our civic culture. Just wait until The Rock runs. Yo, man, that's just wild to think. And is also that this can be unifying, he said. Whether you're the kind of billionaire on the Upper East Side of Manhattan or whether you're the daughter of a single mother in the inner city, it doesn't matter. Yeah, pass the test or fuck off and come back when you're 25. You have the same requirements to be a part of a special group of people. No, all girls are special. Shut up, Vivek. At a young age, who get to participate in deciding who governs the country. Yeah, Ramaswamy, whose net worth is roughly $600 million, is a first-generation immigrant and got it out the mud. That's why I kind of respect him. Has poured up to 8 figures of his own money into his 2024 campaign, which he lost in February. Yo, just imagine having 8 figures to throw around knowing that, yeah, there's like no chance in hell outside of maybe Florida just, I don't know, falling into the Atlantic Ocean. Like, there's no way in hell, but yeah, no, if he's angling for a cabinet position and a endorsement or a kickstart for 2028, yeah, makes sense. Ramaswamy has gained steam in the race for bashing against woke culture and capitalism. Yeah, and then also going into the lion's den and serving leftists their own lunch. Good on him. Good on him, man. He's bringing up interesting points. I like him. He's got good delivery. He's got good presence on stage, and I think he's going to shock a lot of people for his performance in the debates. He's not going to get there, but he's definitely laying the groundwork for something great in the future. Big ups for Vivek. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.